Warning, we are about to spoil the entirety of American Psycho. If you haven't seen the film, go watch it. But if you really don't care about spoilers, stick around, listen in. Or, just come back later after you watch the movie. It's pretty good. Spoilers.
American Psycho! Get away from me! American Psycho!
Is the test over?
Mama, let me be!
Stop.
Don't come knocking around my door!
Fucking cancel this podcast.
That fits way too well, though, doesn't it, with American Psycho, American Woman?
Well, it's one word.
Well, no, American Psycho, get away from me. American Psycho,
I
Mama,
guess.
let me be.
Yeah, that does. Okay.
I'm just saying. No, Cameron, you're not going to put that in the opening, do not.
You do, and I'll fucking strangle you.
Again? Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cinema Roulette. We're back, and it's been a while since we've actually recorded anything in real life and not the fucking continuity of our upload schedule, however fucking random that may be.
Yeah, I don't know when this episode's going up.
Yeah, that's just kind of just spin a date wheel. It could be any time between this week and not this week. Probably any time within the next few weeks to the year. Who knows?
I would like that at the very least, the episodes we finished for the first wheel are out before the end of 2019.
They will be. That is a promise. And if they aren't, you can...
And then Cameron died and I couldn't get into his computer. The end.
The end, right?
Oh wait, then who would I do Cinema Roulette with?
Hello, me. It's me again.
Hi, I'm sad, lonely boy JK Pancake, and this is my host, me.
It's actually kind of depressing. Let's stop thinking about that. Anyway.
Well, oh yeah, we have a cheerful movie this time around, American Psycho.
Yeah, American Psycho. I'm actually honestly trying to think about where to get even started on this movie, because I hope this isn't a really short episode, because I can't think of too much that I want to say. So let's just delve into it and hopefully.
Well, this will be kind of a back and forth thing. I guess I'll probably say something, and then you'll have something to say on it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll go with the flow.
Should we do the summary? I guess the quick summary.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Patrick Bateman is a businessman in the 80s. He's also a fucking serial killer who can't admit it to anyone. Seriously, anytime he tries, something interrupts him.
Yeah, someone mishears him or something.
Or he's in a really loud bar, or just no one's listening. And as time goes on, he kills more and more, and I think by the end of the movie, he says he's killed 40 people.
Mm.
Yeah, there isn't much of a... And there is a cop played by Willem Dafoe who is kind of on his case, but not really.
It's kind of implied that they're playing a little game of wits, but it's revealed that they're kind of not.
It's weird.
Yeah, and that's basically the plot, yeah?
Yeah, what is with older movies just having the simplest plot?
I don't know, that's the thing. It's I'm not complaining, but at the same time, it's just not much to go on.
Then again, I think this movie... Okay, I will mention the book a few times in this episode. First off, books do not matter when it comes to a movie. Mm-hmm. But this one does follow the book pretty well for the most part, except the book is more fucked up.
Yeah, it does.
So I'm able to bring up things from the book and not feel too bad about it.
It does follow the book. Hold on, I think it's doing the thing again. It does. Come on. There we go. Nope. Went right back. Hold on. Technical difficulties. There we are. Wait. Nope. Damn it. Yeah. Cut.
I forget where I was.
We were talking, oh yeah, about like differences between the book and the movie. Because the book actually, it does follow the book, but the main difference there is that it cuts stuff out. Really, it doesn't include everything.
Which, I mean, is usual for most adaptations.
Yeah, but it's interesting because this one I think all of the dialogue is taken like verbatim from the book, if I'm not mistaken.
Most of it, yeah.
Yeah. And didn't you say too that opening scene with him like describing all of his shampoo and stuff? Wasn't that?
Oh, that goes on forever.
You said that took up like a whole chapter in the book or something.
I think something like that. It's more in detail.
Yeah. Everything is pretty much more in detail. Like, I know it said too that like he mentions like everything that everyone is wearing, like their ties, their suits, their pants, and just describing everyone down to a T.
Yeah, it's the point where everyone is basically the same.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if that was intentional in the movie, I think it worked.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I kind of lost track of who the fuck was who.
Mm-hmm. It's fairly easy to do that.
Because you're just around mostly these business fucking people.
Mm-hmm.
I think the film calls them yuppies.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing about the book is the movie and the book has a lot of derogatory terms. I just guess because was it written in the 80s or
don't know,
because I
know it's based around the 80s.
Yeah,
that would explain all the cocaine.
Yeah, in the opening, I kind of burst out laughing when they said that. They're like because they were at a restaurant eating, and this guy just came out. He's like, "Hey, they don't have a good bathroom to do coke in."
How hard is it to do coke? You have a finger, just go.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, there's like a lot of really like derogatory, like because these are supposed to be like uptight rich assholes with a job, so they like refer to gay people as like, oh, that faggot over there. It's just like, Jesus Christ.
I don't even think that's because they were uptight. I think that's because it was the 80s.
Yeah, because it was the 80s, and yeah.
But luckily nowadays we treat gays with respect.
And that's the most political we're gonna get on this episode tonight.
Or try.
At least we'll try to restrain ourselves. We don't promise anything.
Anyway, let's getting kind of disclaimer of the book out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try to talk about the movie.
Yeah.
Even though it feels very symbolic.
I know I'm trying not to get too rambly here, so what should we discuss first about the movie?
Let's go with Bateman himself first.
Christian Bale does a phenomenal fucking job.
Yeah, it's kind of fucking crazy how well he fits.
It really is, honestly. So, and I know, like, I was reading a little bit behind the scenes, and he lobbied pretty hard to play Patrick Bateman, because I think it was either, because I know Leonardo DiCaprio and one other actor was, like, highly considered for the role, just because they thought Christian Bale wasn't famous enough. And so, like, he really lobbied for it and got it, and ended up being one of his best performances, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, he just fits this, like, he keeps this very cool state throughout most of the... whenever he's talking to people, but you can see as the facade slowly cracks, and when he becomes this psycho.
Like, during a murder scene or something, like... Because he talks, like, in this really posh accent for the whole movie. It sounds something like that. Like, the whole time he's talking like that. But even when he goes psychotic, he still kind of has that accent, which makes it kind of funny to me.
Well, he has that accent if it was screaming.
Yeah, basically. Because, like, when he murders the one guy in the famous scene in the apartment to Huey Lewis, because he's just talking about Huey Lewis while this guy's just drunken out of it. And, like, he goes, "Is that a raincoat?" And he's like, "Why, yes. Yes, it is."
He talks almost like Jim Carrey in The Mask.
He really was. It was fascinating.
I think it was Jim Carrey in The Mask. It was classic Jim Carrey.
It was Jim Carrey in The Mask, yeah. But Yeah, he does a great job with the character, and it translates really well from book to screen, if I'm being honest, because, like, they do have him do some monologues from the book, like, in the opening scene in the shower, they do have him, like, describing all the little things he does and how he washes his hair and his face and stuff.
Honestly, I have it's just an oddly comforting voice.
It's weird, man!
It's one of those voices you can just listen to ramble on about anything,
Yeah.
and only seconds later you'll realize that, oh, he's talking about eating someone, or
Yeah.
just...
A thought that immediately comes to mind, another actor that immediately comes to mind is Orson Welles.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Orson Welles could talk me out of reporting him to the police.
Right?
I'm just saying.
Exactly. It's like in The Third Man when he's talking about like the little dots and stuff and like distributing drugs to everyone. It's like he sounds so cool, but then you slowly realize he's talking about this horrible shit.
Yeah.
But fucking yeah, he does a great job with the role, and I know what'd they say in the book? They said like in the book like he does ramble on quite a bit, and you do see like you spend more time with him. Like,
Oh yeah, you get way more in his head in the book.
yeah, because in the movie it just kind of naturally progresses from like talking scene, business scene to murder. Like you see how it naturally progresses, but because in the book you spend so much time with him, when the fucked up murders do happen, it does seem like more random in the book, I guess.
Yeah, but even then, there was still a pretty high amount of tension, especially when he brought the hookers home.
This film does a fabulous job of just...
Sorry. Call girl.
You're right. After he murders them, they're hookers.
Then they're hookers, yeah.
But, yeah, it does a marvelous job of really building up tension throughout the movie. Like, you know he's fucking crazy. Obviously the title's American Psycho, so you know stuff's gonna happen. But if someone was seeing the movie completely blind, like I knew about one of the murder scenes and stuff going in this, but if someone's seeing it completely blind, like after he murders that homeless guy, you would be completely on edge.
Yeah, and you realize like the speech patterns and stuff he'll get, or how his face will change when he's about to like just fucking maim someone.
Yeah, or like even like differences between like when he's just talking normally and then like someone says something and then he gets mad. You can kind of see his face kind of just like go slowly psychotic.
He's such a petty murderer.
Oh, he almost murders the one gay guy in the bathroom over the business card he had.
Well, he murdered the first guy due to a business card.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I know he was upset about the business card, and then I think it was the business card and one other thing before he actually invited him out and got him drunk and then murdered him.
Yeah.
But like he murdered the homeless guy to get out the anger he was feeling over the business card,
and killed the homeless guy's dog.
So it's the worst fucking scene in the movie.
You want a positive?
Okay.
In the book, he doesn't kill the dog.
Really? No, what does he...
He just breaks its legs.
Ah! I knew it. I knew it was going to be something worse. No.
I was imagining like a cute puppy just bouncing.
No! Stop. Oh. Fucking, what was I even going to say? I had something, too. And he almost fucking kills a cat, but then someone interrupts him.
No, we'll get to that scene.
I'm just saying, the animal cruelty in this movie just made me upset.
I mean, I'm not sure if the cat happened. That's the thing.
But again, we'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit.
But yeah, just the tension it builds, and the scene in and too when he brings the one secretary home, and he's like this close to murdering her numerous times. This was right after killing the hooker and having her head in the fucking freezer.
Wait, was that? No, that was killing the girl from the nightclub.
I thought that was the hooker he had that he paid.
No, he brings the girl home from the nightclub, then cuts to him playing with her hair.
Yes, you're right.
The hooker dies from the chainsaw.
You're right. Okay, yeah. But yeah, when he brings her home and like murders her, and then like he's going around the apartment like opening stuff, and you can see like all these weapons in there, and then he gets out a nail gun and points it at the back of your head. And you're like, oh no! But then she talks and says something, and then he puts it down. I was just like, the whole time.
No, it's because his phone rings.
Yeah, because his phone rings and they leave the answering or his other person he's saying leaves the message.
Fiance.
His fiance leaves the message on the answering machine. He's like, "You're only mine, you bad boy," or something like that.
I'm surprised he didn't murder his fiance. I guess she'd be caught for that one easily.
Yeah, I guess that'd be. Yeah, you're right. But even still, he was pretty ballsy with the fucking murders. Just killing the one guy at the beginning and then just dragging his corpse out through the front lobby and into the truck.
And shoving it in a taxi.
And these two people recognize him. And, like, you think he's going to get caught. And they're like, oh, where did you get that travel bag? And then he says it and then just drops it.
Says it and drives off.
Oh, it's great. But...
Speaking of talking, the dialogue is so... the only way I ever describe this type of dialogue is like Twin Peaksy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not unnatural, but it's not natural either.
No, it's just weird enough that you kind of it just adds it adds this weird vibe to the movie.
Just something is wrong here,
Yeah.
and I don't know what. Well, the murders, but besides the murder.
I think it's a combination of how they say the dialogue and like the posh accents that almost all of them use. Like they all talk like this and they're all like very high class. It's just
because this is the 80s and we have to be excess.
Exactly. It's just, it's just the way they talk and like how it's written. It's like normal people would not talk like this, but at the same time, they would. It's weird. I can't put my finger on it.
Also, even though I can't remember a single character's name, besides Patrick Bateman,
and
everyone does a fantastic job.
And Detective Willem Dafoe, whatever the fuck his name is.
You don't remember his name,
no,
so
it's
Willem Dafoe.
It's Willem
He's
Dafoe.
Not remember. Is oh wait, sorry, Green Goblin.
Yeah.
No. Ryuk.
Yeah. You're trying to think of the most ridiculous role he played.
That's hard. It's Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, exactly.
John Wick's friend.
Yup. Who he but.
Spoilers.
Sorry.
Bleep that.
Okay.
Jeez.
But yeah,
but everyone's seen John Wick. People were born yesterday, motherfucker.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Yes, let me show John Wick to my newborn child. Raise him right.
Protect dogs, kill Russians.
Exactly.
I think that's pretty solid morals.
Yeah, and I'm gonna move on because the cinematography in this movie really captures the 80s well, to the degree I always forget that it was made in the year 2000.
I completely forgot it was made in 2000. I thought it was like early 90s latest.
Yeah, at the late, but no, this was made in the year 2000, and I don't know if it was the mix of like the cinematography, and they had to have used like actual film because it has this 80s look and feel to it. They did a fantastic job of capturing that vibe. And
yeah, I don't think many films in 2000 were digital yet.
No, they were still using 35 millimeter film at that point.
Yeah.
A lot. Like it hadn't progressed to the point where it is nowadays. Like year 2000 to 2010, like to where we are now, that was when technology just took off.
They also just can make this gets a bit into the ending, but again, we'll get to that later. But during kind of the final scenes, the city feels just so big, but also so empty at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just, I don't know, these really wide, low-angle shots just look really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it takes place entirely in New York, so...
Yeah. And it's fine. It's fine.
Those two buildings they show often will be there forever.
Yeah, this great, but I forget what they're called, but they're probably not too important, right?
Ooh, that was a harsh one. We're sorry, New Yorkers.
No, I'm not.
uh, but yeah, I don't know. I think the reason it feels so populated yet so empty is just because like even at night, like when he's running around the streets, like the streets are not like sometimes it's populated and sometimes it's not. Like I've noticed, like in the indoor scenes, a lot of the time it's really populated, but when it gets to the outdoor scenes, there's like hardly anyone walking around.
This probably means something,
Yeah.
but I'm also too tired to be symbolic and
Right.
artsy.
Like, yeah, whenever they're in like a nightclub, there's like people jumping around, or in the office, he's talking to his coworkers, or in a restaurant, there's people around, except for the one time when there's a joke when he says, nobody goes there anymore, and then they're in an empty restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was just weird. Yeah, and even when like he murders her in the apartment and she runs down the hall screaming, banging on the doors, the fact that like no, I feel it's like the apartment's empty, like nobody responds at
Yeah,
all.
it's like it's under construction or
Yeah.
something.
Like no, and that probably plays into the ending a bit more too. But yeah, like no one is responding. Like she's banging on doors, yelling down the hallway, screaming bloody murder. And you would think
As he's revving a fucking chainsaw.
as he's running down the hallway naked with a chainsaw revving, like you would think like someone at 3 or 4 in the morning, whatever the fuck this is, would notice that or open their door, see what the fuck's going on. But no one's. It's like no one's there. It's weird.
Also, his apartment
Mm-hmm.
just looks pretty.
Yeah, it's a very sterile looking apartment. Like it's all white, and he has like all these art on the walls and stuff.
Man, if I was crazy, I'd say you might be a serial killer.
Right. But yeah, that's done really well. Cinematography, set design, just everything about that, technical wise, the feeling that it's trying to capture is done perfectly. So,
Also, there's sex scenes.
yeah, very gratuitous sex scenes.
I feel like just mentioning it because it almost doesn't add much.
Yeah, and I get that. Again, this is supposed to be the '80s, so it's like you're doing loads of drugs and having a lot of unprotected sex with women and stuff. But yeah, like especially
But also, we have the uncut version,
Yeah.
which was
That one-
3 extra minutes of them fucking.
I remember we were watching it. You're like, oh yeah, so this is the scene that was extended. Okay.
Yeah, did that scene add a lot to the plot?
Not really. It just went to show kind of like how egotistical he was, because he was fucking
Yeah,
them and then looking in the
He's paying
mirror,
you.
flexing, and it was just like weird.
I do like how he buys hookers, not to fuck them really,
Not immediately,
But-
at least.
not immediately, but more just to have them ask and be impressed.
Yeah, he just buys hookers to. He just buys hookers to fucking brag to them. He's like, "Don't you want to know about this apartment or something like that?"
So fucking stupid.
It's so dumb, but again, it does that does kind of add to his character with how cocky he is and just how crazy he is. He literally is getting away with murder and nobody's going to stop him.
Also, probably the biggest murder scene is not the running through the streets, but the one where he kills the hooker with a chainsaw.
Yeah, that whole extended scene where like because like they're having sex, doing their thing, like he gets drugs them, and they like I guess he gave them the lesbian and horny drug because then they start fucking each other. It was weird, but then like he's like
It's
doing
the love drug, man.
I guess so, but then he's doing the one chick in bed and the other one's kind of laying there watching like, when's my turn coming?
Well, because he's had the the blonde chick before, and she tries to leave before, or any weird kinky shit happens.
Yeah, and then just blood starts coming out of the sheets, and she can see that he's murdering him, and then just like it almost kind of turns into a horror movie with her running through the hallways, like opening a door, discovering bodies just hanging in the fucking closet.
Yeah, or he had like an entire row of bodies and it said "you fucking yuppies" or something like that.
It just kind of goes horror movie there, and like there's like a chase scene through the hallways, and that's like she gets out his apartment. It's just crazy. But yeah, the chainsaw thing too is kind of unexpected because it's like, oh, he's chasing her around, and then she runs out in the hallway, and just all of a sudden,
Oh, you could see it in his apartment.
oh, you could? That's cool.
Yeah, when he's about to kill the secretary, he like reaches into a cabinet and you can see the like head of the chainsaw.
Oh, that's cool.
Also, I'm hearing an echo myself.
Oh, are you? Sorry, give me a moment. Technical difficulties.
Yeah, just chainsaw was there before. Also, I love him like dangling it down the stairs.
Yeah, like how the fuck he made that shot, I don't know. And I know like he like stays physically fit. It shows him like constantly exercising and shit, but that would take some serious precision to fucking do that.
I think what they would have wanted to do is have it like go through the top of her head and do that, but they may have not had the money or
they didn't want it. Like they didn't want to get like an NC-17 or something. Who knows? For
violence.
Because the rating system is fucking weird.
Oh my god. Yeah, the rating system is fucking stupid.
Yeah. But yeah, like he like is running up the chainsaw, and she's running down the stairs in a really cool shot. Like you can see like that spiral going down, and like he dangles the chainsaw over the edge and like kind of just follows her with it, like with his eyes. He's like and he like follows her with the chainsaw in the air, and then just kind of drops it, and it goes through
her. It somehow hits her in the side.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck that happened, but it happened.
And then there's the final burst of insanity.
Oh boy, let's talk about the ending and all the things leading up to it.
Okay, so Bateman is going crazy not being able to confess his own crime. Because, like we said earlier, every time he does, something interrupts him or someone doesn't hear him. Yeah. He even breaks up with his fiancée, and he's like, I'm a fucking murderer!
Yeah, exactly.
He goes to an ATM, and then the ATM does the normal thing of asking, feed me a stray cat.
No, because I think he sees the cat, and then he picks up, and then it displays the message.
Yeah, a stray cat comes up and nuzzles against his shin or something. He picks it up and then looks at the machine and says, feed me a stray cat. So he tries to shove it in, it doesn't fit, and then pulls out a Glock to try to shove it in better. An old lady shows up and is like, what the fuck? And then he shoots the old lady.
Yep. And this leads into an extended chase sequence.
Yeah, cops show up. He fucking pulls off a commando moment and hits the gas tanks, I guess, and they kills all the cops, they explode.
Yeah, because he's like firing at the cops, and I guess he does hit a cop, though. Like he gets into the shootout, but then he hits the gas tank, everything fucking explodes. He kind of looks at his gun like, huh.
How the fuck? Then he runs to his office building, goes in the wrong office, and when the doorman asks him to sign in, he shoots the doorman in the head and then kills the janitor.
But yeah, it's like, as the guy says, he's like, hey there, man, burning the midnight oil, pulls out a gun, shoots him, just doesn't even say anything.
Goes across the street, signs in, goes up to his office, and calls his lawyer as a helicopter is outside, and confesses to 40 different murders.
Yeah, just confesses to the whole thing over the phone.
Because he thinks he won't get out of it.
Yep.
So back at his apartment as he takes a shower.
Just hard, and it's the middle of the night, so hard to cut to the next day, and he's just in the shower going through his business.
And, he's panicking still. He calls his secretary and just says, cancel everything, basically.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to make it to the office today. And he's like, he's clearly in distress. Like, she can tell that, like, something's wrong.
And she goes to his office and finds a journal. Opening it up, and it seems like he has drawings and descriptions of all the murders. But also at the same time, he goes to a lunch meeting or just lunch with friends.
No, before that, you'll have to mention the apartment.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I almost forgot.
It's all good.
He does go back to, because the first person he killed, his coworker, he's been using that that's the apartment where he did the chainsaw murder of all the hookers, and that's where we saw the fun house of dead bodies.
Mm-hmm.
He goes back there to clean up, and there's nothing. It's all white. There's someone even trying to sell the apartment to new people. And she just basically says, leave. Don't come back.
Yeah, because she first looks at him and she's like, "Oh, are you my 2 o'clock?" He's like, no, I was just lies. It's like, oh, you must have seen that article in the Times. Yeah, oh no, yeah, the Times. She was like, there was no article in the Times. And then he's like, what? And she's just like, I think you better leave. And it just kind of slowly backs away.
I think I should.
It's really weird.
It's weird and unnerving, and we'll get to that. And then he goes to the lunch date. Oop, shit. Sorry. He goes to the lunch date, and everyone's doing their normal business chatter like nothing is different.
Mm-hmm.
And he sees his lawyer. And he's like, okay, did you get my message?
Yep.
And the lawyer starts laughing, thinking it was all a joke. And he keeps trying to confess it. But then the lawyer says, this isn't funny anymore. I ate with whoever the first coworker was. I'll call him Larry.
Yeah, sure.
I ate with Larry in London 2 days ago.
Yeah, because the whole cover story for his murder was that he was taking a trip to London and he left a voicemail on the machine saying, like, trying to imitate his voice, saying, "Hey, I'll be in London" or something. But when in reality he killed him. But then it turns out he said, "I did actually eat with him in London."
But also earlier in the film, the police officer said someone might have sighted him in London.
Mm-hmm.
But then Bateman basically sits down completely shocked at, just like the audience probably is at this point.
Yep.
And he kind of has a little monologue and the film ends.
Roll credits!
Okay, but you unravel here.
Yeah. A very, very ambiguous ending.
The film snob in me, because the whole thing here is like, did the crimes happen? Did they not?
Was this all in his head? It's like implied that he might not have actually murdered anybody.
But I re-listened to the final monologue as well.
Uh-huh.
And there's 2 things. First off, the final monologue he has seems to basically be saying, I want people to know I killed, but no one knows, thus I will keep killing. But, okay, thing you will, if you ever go to film school or look up film theory, something teachers will constantly say to you is, everything means something. That's what, you don't put anything in a scene that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Going by that logic, there's a sign behind him that's in focus.
Uh-huh.
Which is what bothers me. Because there's no reason to have it in focus.
What does the sign say?
This is not an exit. It's to some random door in the restaurant. Which, I mean, yeah, sure, that makes sense for it to be in a restaurant. But also, that saying what is the end of the movie and him saying this is not, what's it called? This confession means nothing.
Yeah.
This isn't an exit from his murders. He's going to keep killing.
Yeah.
He's going to keep going fucking crazy.
Yep. That's the thing. It's like, no matter how hard he tries to confess, he's always going to get away with it. Like, and this is not a way out. He's just going to keep doing it and get away with it.
And that's just my deep symbolic take on it.
Yeah. I basically got the same thing out of it. It's like he may have not actually committed the murders, but if he did, that's.
I think he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, because this interesting thing is that between like that confession at night and like it just the hard cut to his apartment too, we don't actually know how much time has passed since then.
Yeah, we don't know.
So
I assume it's been a day.
Yeah, you assume, but like, would you think that he'd be that clever to clean up the bodies and everything, and then like hire someone to sell the house and stuff?
No, because he was surprised that they were there. That's the thing.
So what the fuck actually happened with that? That's the scene that I can't figure out. That's the weird one.
I feel that's symbolic of something, and I don't know what.
We can't quite put our fingers on it.
Maybe possibly a way of saying that people like this will always get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of a sad, depressing ending.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's
positive if you hate hookers, I guess.
But yeah, because he's supposed to represent like all the excess of the 80s. So
that's deep symbolic meaning.
All the coke, all the sex, and all that fucking
all the violence
and all that money that he's somehow making. Why do you still have to?
And the beauty of returning videotapes.
That was the excuse he used every time. He's like, I have to go return some tapes.
Fucking murders.
Right? But yeah, is there anything really else we can talk about? Because the recording is at 49 minutes, but minus all the shit that we said, it's probably more like maybe 39.
Really? It's felt longer.
Yeah, it's at 49:15, so we've been going for about 50 minutes uninterrupted. I don't want to drag it out unless there's
much else to say.
Yeah, I'm trying to think too, honestly. Soundtrack's good.
Soundtrack was really good and sometimes oddly comedic, but I think there is some dark comedy elements that are supposed to be in the film.
Oh yeah, definitely. There had to have been some dark comedy elements. Like I would have a hard time believing that all of this was supposed to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it uses like a mix of like piano and classical music and like pop music from the 80s, like Huey Lewis and the News, Tina Turner, Genesis, stuff like that.
Yeah, did I already say that this is a movie I've seen and you haven't?
I don't think we ever actually said that, no.
Okay, well, that is the point this was at, because we haven't hit anything on the fucking wheel we've both seen already.
Yeah, so...
Even though there's 5 of them.
What are our odds technically right now? 5-2 or 5-3?
5-3.
5-3. So what is that? Like 50, 60? No, 60, 70%?
I have no idea.
We're going to say like 60 to 70% chance of landing on a film we've both seen. So I think without further ado, let's find out and take our chances.
I actually keep talking about myself. The fucking file that recorded, you piece of shit.
Every time, guys, whether we're playing Rainbow Six Siege or whether we're doing this, fucking, if you have higher odds, nope, of course, not going to get that. No, couldn't be.
Just reference Rainbow Six Siege out of nowhere.
I will, because it has the spinny wheel thing, man.
It does for the packages.
Which I always somehow seem to miss when I'm over a 50% chance. Excuse me again.
Because you're not lucky.
Really gassy tonight, and I don't know why.
Good to know.
Yeah, right?
Okay. Now, let's spin the wheel!
Please, oh please, oh please, oh please.
I fucking give up.
Are you serious?
I fucking give up.
What did it land on? What we get? Is it Taxi Driver?
No, it's not Taxi Driver.
Is it Francis
if I called it that hard, I will have broken my computer in half.
Is it Francis Ha?
Yeah, it's Francis Ha.
Yes.
So, first off, that means films Justin has seen and Cameron hasn't is the first thing off the list, technically.
Come back. What? What'd you say?
Films that I've seen and you haven't is the first category off the list.
All right, well, for our next...
Oh my god. Okay. I want to explain why I'm annoyed with this.
Oh my god, go on, please. This is
okay, because I am actually slightly worried that, because if you've seen other reviewers, not many of them do positive reviews well. Like, there's I don't want to like call straight like people just straight out. So, but I've seen a lot of reviews where it's like a film or a game the reviewer just loves, and then the review is boring.
Yeah, because it's like for things that you genuinely love, like sometimes you have a hard time looking at it objective. It's like, oh, this is a problem, but I can overlook it just because of how good the rest of it is.
Yeah.
And instead of actually being objective and saying like, yeah, this is really fucking good, but this could have been done better and blah blah blah, a lot of times it ends up being the reviewer sucking. Hello.
Hi.
There, you're
Cameron.
back. You're back. I just said
Okay.
I didn't hear a word you said after I said that.
Okay. Or sometimes they don't go deep enough,
Yeah.
and it's just they kind of say like, "Oh yeah, the story is great," and just kind of expect everyone to know why it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Which always kind of irks me and makes the review very uninteresting.
Yeah. So we're trying.
So I've been wanting to land on films we've both seen just to kind of give a test run so we know what the hell we're doing.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, what some of these films, while we may not like love some of these films, we know we at least really like them.
Yeah, and also with each film we've done, at least one of us hasn't seen it, so we get at least that second perspective of a new viewer.
We get that perspective of the new viewer, and then we can talk about stuff that we like to the person, and then.
But even though we've somehow had at least a 25% chance of landing on this category, we just haven't.
Yeah, and I think now we're 5-2. That has to be almost 80% now.
Well, it's 7. So hold on. I should also stop the recording of the screen. Let me do some quick maths.
Hi.
That is a 71% chance.
We have a 71% chance of landing on a movie we've both seen. I swear to God, if we're done with Francis Ha and don't land on that, I will lose my shit.
I actually will. I will be legit mad if we are left with just movies we've both seen.
Because again, we don't know how this is going to go, and we'll have nothing to fall back on until the next wheel. So.
Yeah. So that is slightly worrying, even though we have no goober. Thanks. However, that little tirade out of the way, and probably I had a good 10 minutes to runtime.
Unintentionally, but it is important to talk about that.
It's important to explain the anger, because I'm pretty sure last time it didn't make much sense to people.
Yeah, so we're just...
It's like, oh no, you have to watch a movie.
Yeah, we're just preemptively apologizing, I guess, ahead of time if it does turn into that.
In case they do turn out bad. Which then, greatly apologize. We'll try not to do it too often.
We're going to try to stay objective here.
Or at least, we'll try to fix them.
Yeah.
However we want. Mm-hmm. Anyway. Next episode should be Hannibal Season 1.
Yep.
I'm not sure how we're splitting the episodes yet.
Okay, yeah. Splitting the... We'll find out. We may do it by season. Who knows? So...
No, it goes by story. We'll probably split it up a good bit.
If there's like an arc to each one or something. Or no, you mean individual stories for each episode?
No, like there's an ongoing story throughout the season.
Okay. I don't know if that counts in like the first season. We don't know. We've never seen the show, so...
I've seen 2 episodes of it,
yeah,
technically speaking.
So we don't know if there's a...
Well, at least we'll probably do 3 episodes, I'll say.
Yeah. Because I think in like the 3rd season, that's when they really get into like running episodes, if I'm not mistaken.
3rd season's what?
Like when they really get into running like storylines, because that's supposed to be a remake of Manhunter, I think. Leading up to Silence of the Lambs, which they never do.
We'll see.
We'll
but next time is Hannibal, and then we get Francis Ha. 2 totally different fucking things.
No, this is actually a good lead-in from American Psycho, because now it's going from American Psycho to fucking Hannibal.
Oh yeah, because American Psycho opens with food, and Hannibal's about a cannibal.
Yep.
Did they really just call him Hannibal because cannibal rhymes with it?
I'm sure that was the point, yes.
That makes me angry.
Because they say, like, in the beginning of Silence of the Lambs, they're like, Hannibal the cannibal. You know, that case.
I mean, that's just luck right there.
Right? His name's Hannibal, and he just so happened to have a catchy name.
Yeah. I mean, it would have sucked if his name was, like, Gregory.
Gregory the cannibal.
Yeah, it doesn't roll off the tongue at all.
Anyway, we should probably get going, so.
Oh my god, if there was a woman arrested for assault in Barry, she could be named Susan the Bruisin'.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay, we'll see you next time.
We're really going out on that note.
Yeah, go, end.
God fucking damn it.
What's wrong with Susan the Bruisin'?